Welcome to Like-Minded with Dr. Patrice. Each episode, we'll sit down with different experts and unpack the role of mental health in our day-to-day lives. Today, the most magnificent Lynn Jones Turpin joins us to explore what happens when kindness and emotional intelligence in the room spark a national conversation and what it means to be embraced as the nation's favorite aunty. Together, we unpack what professionalism, humanity, and care can look like in public spaces and what it asks of all of us. Lynn Jones Turpin is a veteran broadcast and community journalist, associate editor and sales team manager at the Jacksonville Free Press. With nearly 3 decades in journalism, she has interviewed leaders and cultural figures from Barack Obama to Tiger Woods. As a longtime member of the Black Press and the National Newspaper Publishers Association, Lynn stands firmly in a century-long tradition of reporting that informs, protects, and uplifts African American communities. After offering a few heartfelt words of encouragement to Jaguars head coach Liam Coen during a post-game press conference, she became an unexpected national symbol of compassion in journalism, sparking debate, praise, and a deeper conversation about what it means to see someone in real time. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming in. Really appreciate you taking the time. So this moment that we all saw, It really captured the national attention. And it's not because it was like really dramatic, but because it was a human moment. Mm-hmm. And you saw someone in real time. And I will say, I saw that, and there's not a lot of great news sometimes out there. And I teared up watching it, didn't know anything about what was going on. It was just such a beautiful moment. Why do you think that seeing that other person, why do you think that seeing the coach, why do you think that resonated with so many people?
Well, as my brother said, it was a breath of fresh air. Mm-hmm. And the humanity that we have now has been lost. Mm-hmm. And to say something nice to someone, it means a lot. In football, men are taught to be tough. So for me, giving him those kudos and saying, you got to realize he lost the game. Yes. So I'm giving a kudos, a statement to someone who supposedly is a loser. Is a loser.
And that's probably what he's internalized and what he's thinking about himself as he's standing up there. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So he's thinking about that. And then you understand at a press conference, you're barraged with all of these questions. Someone could take one question and then the other person will take the same question and just form it another way. Yeah. So, but at that time, it just came out. Patrice, it just came out. And I'm back in the press, in the conference, press conference. And sometimes I ask questions and I do formulate them because I'm in the press box and I know the questions that have to be asked. But like I said, it seemed like she just rushed the mic to me that day. And I mean, you can look at him and tell.
You could.
Yes.
Yes. He looked so upset, so down. And I just thought it was a beautiful moment because it was, for me, what I saw, and I think what a lot of the people experience is that it went beyond a compliment. You saw he was hurting. Yes. And you spoke power and love into him. And it was such a human moment that we don't really get to see that often. But it also made so many people uncomfortable. What do you think that was about?
Again, he's supposed to be a loser. And then I became America's auntie.
Mm-hmm, you really did.
But that's what aunties do.
Yes.
That's what grandmothers do. Mm-hmm. His aunt literally emailed me.
Really? What did she say?
She said, Lynn, thank you. She said, because we wanted to give Liam a hug too. Oh. And we were proud of him. She said, but you took that on.
Yes.
And because I knew everyone that you have good parents. I know you have good parents who raised you and give you good morals and values. And this man came to Jacksonville and we ended up in a season 13-5. We've had some bad seasons, and we wanted to go to Super Bowl, but you have to win those big games. Right. And they didn't win that big game, yet the fans in our city, and you know how big football is, and Super Bowl is the biggest event of the year. But overall, I think it made him stand a little taller.
It did. Yeah. You saw his posture change. You saw him kind of lift up his chin.
Yes.
And I just think it is so powerful. Like you said, yes, aunties do that, grandmothers do that.
Yes.
Hopefully, like, that you have people in your life do that. But we don't often get to see professionals do that to someone who, I think, as you're right, is being told this is the way that you act. Like you got to be tough all the time. And you could see in that moment that he wasn't tough. Like he didn't feel tough, And so I think just seeing that and recognizing that, I thought it was beautiful.
But a lot of the reporters, they look at this as, I'm being nice to someone.
Yes.
See, you need to be a little bit harder on the coaches and say you a loser, you can't win, or you didn't win. So I think that's what it was, and so I had a lot of negativity towards that too. And the gentleman who put it out. It was meant for bad, but it happened for good.
Yes.
And then really my credentials speak for itself.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Wait, because for someone to say that's unprofessional, it's like, it's not it's human.
Yes.
It's human and it's beautiful. And when we talk about it and think about it, you're not adding anything by barraging him and putting him down. He already feels bad enough. You could tell by the look on his face. He felt bad enough. He didn't need any help with that. And I love that you chose to do something different in that moment. And I think it really just meant a lot to a lot of people. Okay. So you're starting to say America's auntie. So people have really embraced you as, Auntie Lynn. So so there's some debate about that term, right? A sense of familiarity. Like, you say auntie, I say auntie, my son calls all my friends auntie this, auntie that. And that kind of energy from mothers, grandmothers, aunties, community elders. So where in your life did that spirit take root? Because I can tell this is who you are.
My auntie.
Your auntie.
My
Okay,
auntie,
tell me about your auntie.
Helen.
Mm-hmm.
Helen is my mother's sister, and she was 16 years old when I was born, and she just took over me and said I was her baby. And we traveled a lot. I mean, I'm Zeta Phi Beta because of her. This woman, she's a doctor, University of Michigan. She's my role model too, but she poured into me. Literally, my mother, even though she had, I think when it comes to them, my mother had the life with the husband and the children. She had the educational life. And sometimes I think they wanted to mirror that opposite.
That's
and so, I think that's what happened. My mother, she worked, but she wanted a career. And she always said, well, I wish I would have went back to school and everything. Where my aunt, she knew what she wanted to do. So I think that mirrored me in my life.
Yes. And how beautiful for you to be exposed to both, to have the aunt, who's a little bit older, but not the mother, right? Probably to be able to confide and, with and everything. So
that's what we were saying. You could tell an auntie something you wouldn't tell your mother.
That's right.
And I've done that plenty of times. Right. You know.
I do know. I have my auntie and I'm like, we talk about certain things and it's with mom, other things.
Don't worry. I won't tell her. I won't tell mom.
Or sometimes they're like, I'm going to have to tell her, but let's think about how we need to do it.
Exactly.
So having your auntie Helen, that helped you be able to kind of walk into a room and see how you wanted to show up for people. Has that always been easy for you to do? Or
Always.
Is it easy for you to do? I mean, it looked easy to me. It looked so natural, but I don't want to assume.
My mother said personality goes a long way. We have a very personal family. We're happy. We laugh. We cooked a lot. We had cooking competitions. So we grew up like that. My grandmother, my grandfathers, my ancestors, everybody poured into us. When my uncle, Johnny Fred, used to tell us we come from kings and queens when we were 7 and 8 years old.
Yes.
So they always gave us that spirit to know, you got to realize when we grew up, Jesse Jackson say, I am somebody. So James Brown, open up the door, I get it for myself. So the music that we listen to, the albums.
Especially coming from Detroit.
Okay, the Motor City. Wouldn't be no sound without Motown now.
That's right.
Yes. So we had that in the city. And in Detroit was a work of the big three. They fed everyone. So we were way ahead of our time.
Yes.
I would say Detroit was ahead of their time. You got to realize Martin Luther King did his speech on Washington before D.C. They walked down Woodward in Detroit. Really? Him, Aretha Franklin. I don't know who else was there. Don't quote me. You have to look it up. You have to look it up. But I'm telling you, the history there, the Underground Railroad, we're right across the bridge from Canada. Yes.
Yeah. No, my mom is from Flint. And so my auntie, the one I was telling you about, she still lives there, and so spending time there and also, them talking about kind of growing up there when it was the big three and like
That's right.
people
That's
moved
right.
up there for a dream, you
That's
know,
right.
a different, you know, the
That's
Great
right.
Migration, all the things that were available.
You
So
know about it.
I
You
do.
know about
I
it.
do
You
know about
some
it.
history. You know all about it.
Yeah, but I mean, but to your point, like all those experiences shape you. You know, you see people demonstrating, you know, how the opportunities we all have, how we can all be, and you know that does something to you. It's a little bit of counter programming from sometimes the messaging that we get in other ways.
But we learned that growing up from protesting, from
Yes.
understanding our blackness and who we are as women
Yes.
and men. We fought to be where we are today. We don't have to protest anymore. We don't have to get out on the street anymore because we doing good. And even with the DEI, party's over.
Yeah.
Because we are successful and it is okay. But I think that we all over the country, we have fought to be right here. You are the Oprah, the Tamara Halls. No, I'm serious.
Yes, no,
and I'm
it's true.
going to tell you my TV show, Lynn and Friends, and I'm at Lynn and Friends 14 on the Instagram. When I was doing my TV show, it was myself, Mother Love, and do you remember what's Rolanda Watts?
Oh, yes.
Remember Rolanda
yes,
Watts?
Yes.
Everyone was doing shows. Oprah came along, and the rest was history.
Yeah.
Not everybody, but it was her time.
Yes.
Destiny always prevails.
Right. And hopefully end up right where we're supposed to be.
That's right. And that's why you right here. You're looking good
Oh,
too,
thank
Miss
you. You
Patrice.
too, Miss Lynn. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay, so I have some questions for you about
Okay. Let me hear it.
tradition and like legacy. We were kind of starting to get into that a little bit.
Yes.
So there's part of how you have been shaped by the people that have been into your life and like the stories that they've made sure that you know and the pride that you have in yourself. But the Black press also has like a pride about it, and you know the storytelling is so important. And, you know, as I understand it, about balancing truth-telling with community care. So informing, protecting, amplifying, right, for more than a century now.
Yes.
So when you think about that lineage and you think about where you've come from and all the things you've experienced personally, how do you see yourself in that as a member of the Black press?
Well, as I say, there's more than 230 African-American newspapers in the country. In Jacksonville, you have the Florida Star that's been around since 1955. We're in our 40th year at the Jacksonville Free Press. In Philadelphia, the Philly Tribune has been printing since 1884.
Wow.
Okay, and in Detroit, Michigan, we have the Michigan Chronicle since 1935. Also here you have the Los Angeles Sentinel. I don't know how long. I think they've been around since the 60s. You understand? So the Black press is very integral and important piece of our life. But I think we've forgotten about the Black press. And we have to understand these newspapers still have news to empower us in our communities. So me with the Black press in the media room is different than someone else.
Let's talk about that. Explain that for people. I mean, we were talking before, but I grew up on San Diego Voice and Viewpoint, you know, so that was our
so
Black
you know
newspaper.
Mr. Warren.
Yes.
So he was deep in it when it comes to protecting African Americans, Black people, giving them what they need. There's a paper in Chicago, the Chicago Defender. Let me tell you, during the 30s, he had 128,000 subscribers a week.
Wow.
A week.
Wow.
And we talking about maybe 50 cents. But the times were different.
Yes.
So, but we don't understand what we have. And if we don't understand it, we will lose it. Okay? And so even in my community, and I say everything I said to you, I say that every day. If you call my office on the phone, if you come into my door, because you need to know these things, and we're losing it. And you can take that newspaper, read it with your auntie,
Right.
read it with your grandmother, put your phone down,
Yes.
read the paper, understand what's in there, because what's in this paper, it's you, auntie, grandma, on the front page. You all weddings and centenarians, 100-year-olds, they go on the front page. We have Juliana Malvo, columnist. What's his name? Ben Jealous. Okay, we have a lot of columnists, African American columnists that write every week for us.
Yes.
We have stories that resonate throughout the community. And let me tell you something about a newspaper. You can frame a newspaper, but you can't frame Instagram.
That's true.
Talk to me.
That's right. But what you were saying that you think people have forgotten about it.
Yes.
What do you think has led to that? And how do you think that we get back to that kind of being a part of the community?
Well, social media. Everybody's a journalist now.
Yeah. Right.
Everybody's a journalist.
Some very unqualified people are journalists.
Yeah,
yes.
but I'm a vet in the game. I'm a vet in the game. So with me saying what I say all the time, it makes people think. See, because you don't know that there's 230 African-American newspapers still printed in the country. A lot of things we don't hold dear to us like they did back. This is not our grandmother's America anymore.
Yes.
You know, so we don't look at it like that. We read the newspaper. I wanted to be a journalist since I was 8 years old.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
How did you know you wanted to be a journalist?
Because my mother said, if you write on one more damn thing. She said, Patrice, she said, you write on one more thing. And I did. I wrote, I read books. I mean, and the Zora Neale Hurston. I remember when the Hobbits came out too. I had already read the Hobbits back in the 70s. Donald Goines, Zora Neale Hurston, Maya Angelou.
Yeah.
You know, we had those books. Why the Cage Bird Sings. Zora Neale Hurston back in the day.
Their eyes were watching
she
God.
Traveled,
yes.
She traveled the world. You know, they gave her grants and everything. But she is, I'm a Zeta. She is me. Zora Neale Hurston, I am her. So we have to look at it in the sense that what Malcolm X said, if we doomed to repeat it, you know, if we don't know where we're going, we won't know how to get there too at the same time. And I think we've lost that in a sense because we are doing all the things that we have inspired to do in sports, in music, in entertainment, engineering. There's not a profession that we're not good at. Okay. Not at all. You're talking about George Washington Carver. You're talking about all these individuals that came before us. Yeah. And so we cannot forget this.
No. And there's so many things competing for everyone's attention, right?
Yes.
And I think that to have someone like you is like, don't forget for all these reasons. And people are still out there doing the work and you just don't know about it, you know?
Right. And that's what happened to me because you have young people in these press rooms honing their skills.
Oh.
I've honed my skills.
Yeah, I feel like the skills are firmly honed.
So I've honed my skills.
Yeah.
But they don't know that though.
Huh.
They don't know that. And then we don't cross-train. We don't cross-train. You don't know about me, but I know about you. So but you can tell me I'm fake media and my credentials need to be taken, but yet you don't even know me.
Yes.
First thing the young man should have done is look up Lynn Jones, number one.
Right.
Stay focused.
Google is free.
Right. Stay focused. You should have looked around the room and said, let me find out who this lady is. Because evidently if I'm back there for a reason.
Right.
So he didn't do his homework. And so it backfired on him because everyone came to me and said, oh, okay, she can say that. Well, what was so bad about it? Right. I mean, everyone was okay with it. But then you had some that said, no, that wasn't the right thing to say. It's probably because they didn't say it. How about that?
Right. That's what I was going to ask you.
That?
Do you think it's about people wanting to have a moment?
Yes.
Right. You were having a moment. It was beautiful. And then someone's trying to like take a part of that away. And I don't know if that's jealousy. I don't know if it's just like seizing on an opportunity or maybe like you're saying, just maybe their own like lack of professionalism and being in those rooms for enough time that like you don't need to do that, you know, like let someone have their moment and when it's your turn, you know, you'll have yours.
It's your turn. It's your turn. I agree.
I'm glad that you're talking about it this way because I struggled with that because I thought it was such a beautiful moment. And then the next thing I saw was people, the naysayers, like, who has a problem with someone being kind? Who has a problem with someone seeing someone hurting?
Yes.
And recognizing them and like seeing them for a person, not a coach who's lost this game, but as a human being, you know, who's worked hard to get where they are.
But we have robots now. Everything's systematic. So it's a different world now, Patrice.
Yes.
It's a different world. Technology is taking over. We on our phones all day.
Yeah.
When you wake up, the first thing you do is grab your phone. I used to grab the newspaper.
Right.
We listened to the radio.
Yeah.
So my news was the newspaper. But now your phone. And I'm cognizant. I mean, I do the same thing.
Yeah. Right, because you're getting information and things that you need, but also we're losing that ability to interact with each other as humans. You know, what are the things that you would actually say to someone? Like, how do you look at someone and see, okay, I think this is what they might need from me right now. You know, and we lose that when we're on phones and people aren't real. because if you're on a website or you're, on social media and you're commenting with people, you don't know those people. You'll never meet most of them. So they're not real to you. And I think that is a skill that, we've really lost in a lot of ways. Taking a beat, thinking about something before, it's posted, before you make a comment.
Yes.
Sometimes you can just say stuff in your head. What did the kids say? Just like leave it in the drafts, everything doesn't need to be set out there. And so I think that maybe also like honing that impulse control and just being able to sit a moment, when you see something happening and like think about why do you feel like that about it? I think that's something that probably a lot of us really need to work on.
We really do. And then you have to leave those comments alone. When all of this happened, I had to check my daughter, a lot of people, because they were like, I'm going in on the people.
They felt defensive of you.
Right.
Yes.
And I met a guy at the airport. He's a pilot. And he was talking to me and he said, I defended you. He showed me the post.
Really?
He had wrote a paragraph.
Really?
Literally. I had people calling me all the way from Boise, Idaho. People wanted to call and just hear my voice.
Really?
People said that. One guy said he had just broke up with his girlfriend. And when I said those words, you have to realize when it came out, Patrice, they took my name off. You didn't hear Lynn Jones, Jacksonville Free Press. All you heard was my voice, and a Jacksonville reporter said this.
Oh,
okay. So that was the spin on it. And so they just ran with that. But then once they found out, who I am and what I do, then everybody had to backtrack. And then a lot of the sports commentators, they didn't appreciate, I think, the fact that they were ganging up on me. Because I did say something nice.
Yes.
There's not many women in sports that can say these things too and be open and honest about it. And
do you think that contributed to the comments? Because there's not that many women in sports.
Oh, definitely.
People are saying, okay, that's not professional, quote unquote, right? Because
definitely.
Yes.
Oh, definitely. Because like I said, I'm the only woman back then. I don't want to talk about color or anything. And I see that on this, she black, but I'm not going nowhere with being black. So that's not an issue with me being black and my skin color. That I'm a woman, I'm Lynn Jones, the one and only number one. So I have to say I'm black, and I don't like to put that in things all the time and make things racial. I'm not doing that. Because we all in this thing together here. Anything go down, I was telling them on the bus when I was coming from the airport, we all on this bus, everybody acting dinky. And I was telling her that in the restaurant. But if something go down and a bomb happen, we all in the corner huddling together saying, oh, help me, give me some water, and then we're kind to one another. But yet kindness has to happen every single day when you walk out the door.
Yes. Oh, yes. And actually, I wanted to talk to you about kindness because it does seem to obviously be a part of who you are, but also show up in your work all the time. And is that something that you have consciously decided to do, or is it just bringing through who you are naturally?
It's who I am, and I respect my community.
Yes.
I know those stories. I know these individuals in my community. I know you. I could write a story about you and your career. You like-minded. We have the like minds. I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm serious. So when people come to me, they want a story, they want something. The bridge is down. And sometimes I have to show them how to do the story.
Yes.
And say, go take some pictures and let it come from your mind, in your head. And then that way they say, okay, Lynn, I see what you, because I can't do all the stories, but you need to bring it to me, and I'll take it and decipher it from there. And a lot of times they come with stories, and they may only have 3 sentences. Okay, my mother did this or something, and I'll take it, and by the time I'm finished with it, I have 3 paragraphs. But see, I'm not the type of writer too, Patrice, where a lot of writers, we write nowadays and we say, well, such and such, boom, boom, and then we give them a nice story. And then at the end we say, well, in 1975, they had a drunk driving charge and all. See, leave that out for me.
You're saying, right.
Leave that out for me. Because the story should be told how you tell it. You with me?
Yes.
So if you tell me this story, I'm going with that.
Yes.
Now, yes, I might know you did a few negative things, but that has nothing to do with the story that we're talking about now. So I can decipher those two, between the two.
I think that is part of you seeing people. But like Miss Lynn, it's making me think about when I have clients, when I have therapy clients, I don't investigate if what they're saying is true. I'm not going to go ask their mom, did they really grow up like this? Like the person that you're presenting right here is the person that we're working with. So whatever you want to share, whatever, just being there present with someone.
That's right.
And it's what you're describing that you do as a writer. It's like, we don't need to go back and do all this stuff. Like, let's talk about what's happening right now. And I just think it's a skill, that a lot of people probably have a hard time doing, and I don't know if it's because people want to balance things, or if they're just, that sometimes there has to be that little bit of negativity. Yeah, exactly.
It's the negativity because you always want. Look at Chris Brown. Chris Brown is one talented young man, but yet it's 2026, and every article they still say something about Rihanna. Yeah. Rihanna is gone about her business. Yeah. She has a beautiful family, but yet you still talking about what happened between them two. They probably don't even think about that no more. But you want the perception. Yeah. You want the perception to still be out there that he's negative, that he's this. But yet this young man has exceeded all heights.
Yes.
So
yeah, those things are interesting, right? Because obviously, I believe it, accountability and that kind of thing. But then, there's also like, okay, well, no one's forgotten, that either. And I was just trying, figuring out like how, and I'm sure for you it comes up a lot more because you really have to, everything that you write is out there. It's out there, and people, they know, as a journalist, they're counting on you to figure out what that balance looks like for each story, and what you're going to focus on. But I think that what you're saying, and what underlies all the ways that you do things is the kindness, like giving people grace. It sounds like it's a big part of what you do. How do the rest of us get better at that?
Well, number one, you have to get up in the morning and be happy. I notice my voice and who I am, and when I walk into a room, the young man told me the other day, I went to the studio, that jacket over there, and he said when he first met me, and they gave me that jacket complimentary, and he was laying on the couch, and his toe was hurting or something. I didn't even know. I just found out when I picked up the jacket. And I come through the door, word up, what's happening? How you doing? What's going down? What you doing over here? Get up. Or, what's happening? And he got up. But I didn't know his toe was hurting. Yeah. But my energy that I gave to him made him get up and understand that your toe is really not hurting that bad. Okay. So every day is the most magnificent day. When they call, when I answer the phone, I'm happy every day. We have to be happy. We have to have strength to know, Patrice, everything is going to work out. What do they say? Everything is going to work out for my highest good. And you have to believe that. So it's a mindset. Number one, we talk about being poor, and we talk about this. You poor in the mind. It's what you tell yourself. Okay? You're not poor. Yeah. You want to be poor. I don't know. But you don't have to be that way. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Really. Yes. I mean, definitely, like when we say those kinds of things, any of like the negativity to ourselves, we're listening.
And we still
remember
do it. I know we do. When we look in the mirror, and what does Mary J. Blige say? Good morning, gorgeous. I'm just saying,
yes, it matters. It does. It matters. Absolutely.
It matters on how you talk to yourself. And who you are. And a lot of times our light shines so bright, and then we get in a smaller space with someone, and they think your light is going out, but it shines even brighter. You understand what I mean? When you greeted us at the door, I was blinded. I was blinded. No, really, because your personality, you greeted us. You sent a card for me. We thankful for you, Patrice.
No, I'm thankful for you for being here. I mean, honestly, it means so much. Because it's not often that you get to see something happen that's just like, it's so beautiful. And then you get to meet the beautiful person behind it. It's just, it's.
And I've been getting that so much. And I'm so thankful. Yes. Thankful. Really, the community, Jacksonville, just around the world. Yes. All the way from the Daily Mall. Girl, I was on the New York Times, LA Times, Today Show. I think over 1,000 outlets.
Yeah, it really resonated with people. And that reminds me of something that you were saying earlier about, because you are part of like the community press, you know these people. So the way that you relate to people that you're interviewing, it's going to be different than someone coming from a big outlet that's never met this person, not ever going to know them. Right. So, but it seems like you also carry that into everything that you do. So tell me about the relationships with the community that you have, and then how that, kind of permeates everything that you do.
They get on my nerve.
Patrice. It's like, I guess it's like siblings, right? It's like family.
Patrice,
It's like
they
family.
get on my nerve. Lynn, I need a story. Can you cover this? They make my nerves bad. Patrice, but I try to be nice. And I'm not telling you I haven't been a little rude or disrespectful, but at the same time, I understand it because we have to get that news to the community.
Yes.
From book signings to things at the library. Like I say, grandma turning 100.
Yeah.
This is what we
Yes,
need to, we
yes.
want to know. We have a school in Jacksonville, Stanton. Stanton's been around about 100 years. Dr. McIntosh, he's 99.
Wow.
So he went to Stanton, the old Stanton. They have the new Stanton. Now, she probably know over here about Stanton. And so all of these schools and the history. And in Jacksonville, you have Janetta Cole. Janetta Cole was the president of Spelman College, another college. Her grandfather was the owner of American Life, Afro Life Insurance Company, American Beach. You got to come to Jacksonville. You heard
Yes.
about American Beach?
No, so I wouldn't. There's a story that I heard about a man who owned a life insurance company.
Yes.
and made a lot of money from that, but kind of disappeared from the history books. I don't know if it's the same person, but yes, that was.
They have
that was
American
my
Beach there where they had to go to the beach. We were always separate from one
Yes,
another.
yeah.
So we had to get the information to our communities. We still do now.
Yes.
Because they're not covering our communities like that. I mean, they have to, but even at the TV stations, when I talk to a lot of the newscasters, they only can do so much.
Yes.
They only can do so much.
Right.
Because they have a whole community but we focus on us. We empower us. We enlighten us. So that's what I like.
Yes.
Because when they come to the office, like I said, I know they get on my nerve, but let me tell you something. I know I have to help them. I know that if I make this story like that, oh my God, I sell out.
Yes.
I sell out.
You know what the purpose is behind what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's
Yes.
amazing. So as we were saying, this moment has really kind of blown up, right?
Yes.
It's created a larger conversation about compassion, professionalism, care, like all of these things that we've discussed. As you're looking ahead, Miss Lynn, like where do you feel this path is leading you?
Listen, I'm writing a book.
You are.
I'm going to write a
are.
book.
Wonderful.
I have some speaking engagements coming up, tours. So it's catapulted my career in a new direction. I can say that because everyone always know what it did and what I do. And as a journalist, that I've been around with the Black press for more than 30 years, and even with my TV show, I used to have TV shows back in the day where I would have studio audience tapings with 5 cameras. So I've been producing, directing, and now. It's time for me. It's time for me. It really is. It's time for me. And so that's what's happening in the office now.
Yeah. What will the book be about? Is it about this experience or like all of your experiences?
All of my experience. I mean, I'm you see the light, but I'm not telling you there was no darkness.
Right.
I'm not telling you that. I'm not telling you my path went down some rough roads too.
Yeah.
And I had to get myself together. But my destiny was to move to Florida from Detroit. I moved down there, didn't know anyone, worked under Tom Coughlin. So my destiny was always in motion. But as I say, sometimes you have to go through it to get to it.
Right.
And that's what I had to do myself. And Detroit was not the place for me for my career.
Yeah.
And
in what ways? Well, how did you know that you needed to go someplace where you didn't know anyone and kind of start over? How'd you know?
Because Detroit I was accepted to Central State. I didn't go. My parents paying for my college. I'm losing myself. I'm losing myself here, Patrice. I'm what they say in the world.
Yeah.
I'm in the world. And our families, you get out, you have to take care of yourself.
Right.
My daughter, she was born, I was 23. I was married to him, but I did some things.
Yeah.
And I have to admit it to myself, but it's okay. It's okay because I started on a new path. I started, you have your parents, this, that, and
everyone's expectations for you.
For me, I'm the oldest.
Oh, you are. Oh,
I'm the oldest
girl.
Yeah. Are you the oldest girl too?
No, I'm the youngest, but I'm
trying
like
to tell
the oldest.
you. Yes, the responsibility of being the oldest child.
Yes.
My 2 brothers, my grandmother. I had a lot of responsibility.
Yes.
Pick my grandmother up, take her, my mother, my father, good man, everybody. But the expectations for what is happening to me now,
Yeah.
they feel like that should have happened to me a long time ago.
Mm.
You know, because
That's
I'm Lynn and
interesting.
I always had all this
Yes.
knowledge and I can be who I want to be.
Uh-huh.
So why was I even going down this path? So to me, I don't think I trusted myself
Right.
to be all I can be.
That's
I really don't. I don't think that I trust him, and it brings tears to my eyes because I didn't have that. Like what I have now was always happy and personality, but I let myself down. I always. You going to counsel me? I told you going to counsel me.
I'm sorry, I'm a
today.
therapist. I want to hear it all.
So I did feel.
Do you need a Kleenex?
Yeah, I did feel unworthy. I can tell you that. You know, I can tell you that it was overwhelming. And my brother and I, we talk about it all the time, you know. And I told my daughter, I say, sometimes places we lived, and not that it was bad places, but I didn't live with my parents because I had to be independent. So I'm working, you know, you're taking care of your family, and oh my God. You just look at it and it's like, will you ever get out of this?
Yes.
Will you ever get out of it? Like I said, I was accepted at the college. I hadn't finished my degree yet. You know, they looking at me like, you know, I've always been smart. I was always destined for this.
Yes.
This is not nothing that I wasn't destined for.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you that. But I had to find my way. In moving to Jacksonville, sometimes you have to remove yourself. You know, I had
from
to
the
remove
situation so that you can find yourself again.
Exactly.
Right? Because you said, you know, you knew from the age of 8 that you were supposed to be a journalist,
Right.
but then expectations, family obligations, all that stuff can kind of pile up. And, you know, as you say, you're like, who am I? What am I supposed to be doing with my life? Is this it? Or am I just going to keep kind of going through these motions? So, I mean, that takes so much courage, right? To say, like, I am going to change my life. I'm going to move here, do the thing that I know that I'm supposed to be doing. How did you find the courage?
Again, divine destiny.
What happened?
I was Lynette Abdullah, wonderful gentleman, Abdullah, and we came down to Florida. He had brought this truck. We had the bag. Remember the bag and the phones? He brought me this Jimmy truck, and we said, let's go to Florida. Neither one of us had been to Florida. We drove down to Florida, drove all the way. This is back in the day where you do a map. My cousin worked. he was worked in travel at AAA.
Yeah.
He mapped it out, and he said, we'll go to, we were going to Amelia Island.
Okay.
And it was,
yep, I know it.
and then he said, go to Jacksonville Beach. So we drove down. He mapped it out. Girl, we came down here to Florida, and we were at Jacksonville Beach. We went to St. Augustine, Ponte Beach. We taking pictures. I'm like, I said, I'm going to live here.
Really?
I said, I'm going to live here. I said, I didn't know how, but I said, I'm getting ready to move here. And let me tell you something. That was in April. I went back home. I have 2 fathers. My birth father passed in May, left me an inheritance. We were here in June. We were in Florida in June. We were in Florida. My steps, I moved here that June. Again, start working in the football on Tom Coughlin. I started producing some TV shows. And my daughter had ran away, and the young lady fired me. We had like 2 TV shows. I was doing sponsorship for her and everything. And so I said, okay. I had to get myself together there. And then the producer of Comcast, he called me. I was at Blue Cross. I started working at the Blue Cross, and he said, Lynn, he said, I want you to take over my show. Girl, my nerves was bad. My lip, I think, might have came through the phone or something. He said, I need you to take over my show.
Wow.
And I couldn't say no. I said, okay, no problem. I'll take over the show. I took over his show. Then I started Lynn and Friends, and the rest was history.
Wow.
And I started in the newspaper in 2008. I knew of the newspaper in the city, but her mother was from Detroit and worked at Motown and so forth. And she trusted me, and she knew me. And she knew her daughter would need someone. Sometimes people know.
Yes.
And listen, I know all the bodies are buried. And I've been there since 2008.
Yeah.
And her daughter, Rita Perry and Sylvia Perry, and they've given me this opportunity. So it's been abundantly just amazing.
Yes.
And the opportunities that I've had. I've interviewed so many people from East Coast to West Coast, and people look up to me and they expect me to know. They expect me to know because I'm Lynn.
Yes.
I'm Lynn Jones. And if you don't know, and I'm like, why are y'all calling me? Because they know I know.
Yes. Right. And
I hope that sounds okay now.
It sounds great.
Okay,
you do
good.
know.
All right.
No, and I don't want to state the fact that you created this life. It wasn't handed to you. Yes,
No.
there's opportunities, but you had to make a lot of, just from what you've just shared with me right now, a lot of really tough decisions to put yourself in the position of where you are right now.
Yes.
But it doesn't seem like it came easy at all,
Well, when you say no, it didn't come, I think it didn't come easy personally.
Okay.
Personally, it didn't come easy, but it was easy.
Oh, tell me the distinction.
I made it not easy. I did that. I did that because I was telling you about my confidence in myself. I've never. I said my uncle said we kings and queens, but I wasn't believing myself that I was a queen. I didn't believe in me, and so doing what I've been doing is giving me. It gave me that confidence to believe in myself. Okay, I had to hold my head up.
Yes, that's right.
You understand what I'm saying? I had to hold my head up. Growing up, you walk with books on your head. And, and like I said, I always knew when I went on my college tour, I knew this would happen. But I had, like I said, go through it to get to it, Patrice.
Yes.
Okay? Even in your relationship, marriages, I've had multiple marriages, I've gone through a lot.
Yes.
But that's internal too. And so if I don't get over that and understand who I am, then it's not worth it. But it's all been worth it.
Yes.
And that's why I can tell him, hold your head up.
Yes. Because, and I think something even like more or equally powerful to getting over something is using it, right? So like because of the things you have been through.
Yes.
And where you are now, you see people in a different way. Like you see people in that moment and you are like, let me say something. Let me do something for you. Like I'm not just going to recognize it because I've been there. I'm going to do something for you.
The other day in the office, the lady came in and I had just started at the paper in 2008 and we just did an article on her granddaughter that graduated from nursing school.
Oh.
Her granddaughter graduated from nursing school. She didn't get a doctorate.
Yeah.
Do you understand? She just graduated. In her story, she went through some obstacles, but she made it.
Yes.
And her grandmother came in the office with a copy of the newspaper from 2008 when I put her grandmother in the newspaper.
That's amazing.
Did you hear what I'm saying?
That's amazing.
So people come to me with these stories that they had back in the day. I've profiled so many people.
Yes.
And like I said, you can frame a newspaper, but you can't frame Instagram.
Yes.
So I'm thankful for that. But her daughter, like I said, graduated from nursing school. That made her proud.
Yes. Well, and she knew that she could come to you and then the community could know about it, right?
Yes.
So it's not, okay, I'm proud of my granddaughter, but we are proud of her.
Right. The community is proud of her.
We see her accomplishments.
And even with the story, and they talked about how she wanted to be a veterinarian, and you want to be this. But again, here she is. She goes through some obstacles too.
Yes.
Mother got sick, this and that, but she ended up, and she said, no, she wanted to be a princess. And so she went through everything, finally get her nursing degree. And in the story, when I finished the story, at the end, her mother summed it up. I'm proud of my princess.
Oh,
I'm proud of my princess.
That's beautiful.
So see, I take the story and put it in the way that the context, her princess, princess was always a princess.
Yes.
See, but she ended up going through it again, but she was still a princess. Here she is, she graduating, she met her goals, and now the community, let me tell you, I'm going home, they probably purchase all the newspapers.
No, and actually I heard that that there have been a lot more subscribers, right, to the paper because of what you have done, and how much you've really touched people just by being you and carrying, all the things that you've been through and not being afraid to show that, I'm just thinking about the parallelness, Lynn, of, you saying, okay, I didn't trust myself, but now you're using all the things you've been through to be a light for other people, right? Yes. And that idea of like this coach in particular, and I'm sure people probably tell you thank you all day for the things that you do that you don't even think about, but this one that we happen to see that was televised, this one where you also saw someone who was like felt like I have to be tough. I have to
Yes.
do these things that are expected of me.
Yes.
And I wonder if there was a connection with the things that you were just sharing about. I had all these expectations.
Yes.
I needed to just get through, take
Come
care of all
on
these
now.
people.
Come
right?
on, give me some counsel. Come on. Come on.
But
Yes.
you saw so much in that moment, you know, and it's really hard to be so genuine for other people if you haven't been through things, right? If you think
Yes.
everything's fine and you've never had an obstacle and like come to the other side. And so I just think, you know, it's just so beautiful.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. I appreciate it. Patrice, I appreciate it. Really, I do. Because you don't get a chance to just talk about you.
Yes.
You know,
well, you're always asking other people questions.
I know. And I'm getting all these questions. You guys are talking about all my personal business.
Sorry.
I'm usually asking the questions. You know, you're asking me what happened, what about you. So I'm learning to get those things out and be honest too. But overall, I'm being so honest about it, about myself, that takes a lot for me to say these things.
Yes.
Because everybody doesn't know about these things about me. A lot of people don't know me to that extent or as personal like that. So to talk to you and be able to express myself, that's something new for me.
Yeah.
That's new for me.
Well, and I imagine people also see you as like, you know, such a strong light of a person. You know, you come in, you're positive.
Right.
You know, you really are. You're beautiful.
Always.
And we have to, I think all of us get better. Like this is part of the strength.
Yes.
Being able to talk about the things like how you got there. Like I've had to learn, we've all had to learn, like we can be multifaceted, and that is much more powerful than here's this image of me that is not the whole me, but you know, whatever, it's what you want to see, you know, and people being able, and you being willing to share, you know, and also you can edit out any of the stuff you don't want in there. But it's just, I just think that I appreciate all of us thinking about what is a new definition of strength. How can that look? And I think a lot of that is just sharing your story and just being like, yes, this is the person you see in front of you. This is all of the person you see in front of you. And it's just really, it's amazing.
But you did ask a question about being an auntie. And I think, too, the auntie goes back to us as Black women.
Yes.
And that's why I said I want to mix that in there. But we're strong like that.
Yeah.
We're taught to be strong. We're taught to be tough. Just like him being a coach, he's taught to be tough. So my mother, get yourself together, hold your head up.
Right.
She's telling
don't
me
let
this.
them see you cry, right?
Don't let
things.
them, you know, get just, you can do it. So, you know, and even when this happened, you know, I had to tell my mother for a minute, hold tight for a minute here, because this happened to me, and you don't understand this, and you don't know, and everybody's asking me all these questions, but
yes,
you don't know what to do. But you have the tools of my assistants. People my publisher became my manager. I mean, people calling, they set up my interview. So I had a team around me. And everybody was so proud of me. And I got all these phone calls. So I'm just so thankful.
Oh.
I'm just so thankful, really, for the community, for this country, for the nation, for everybody. People call from all over the world.
Yes.
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot of people. I think they said 14 million people. Wow. Did you hear what I said?
Wow.
14. I was in Orlando after this happened, and people from Memphis, and they was like, "Oh, you."
Everyone knew you.
Listen, certain things I can't say, I can't do. You know, people looking at you, even me telling you all of this, and someone may say, "Oh, you know." But I'm telling you, I'm more than thankful and honored. And everyone, the news stations in my community, they had me on. Matter of fact, Melanie Lawson is the one put together that first interview that you saw.
Yes.
And so it's just been overwhelming.
Wow.
It's just overwhelming. And everybody's so proud of me. I'm just proud of you, proud of you. And it's just, I'm so thankful.
Yes.
And to know that the support that I have, you know, the support. And so, yes.
And like so much more powerful because you're just being you
That's
know,
it.
you were not expecting any of this, you know, and to your point, probably if people had not been negative about it, we wouldn't have known it wouldn't have blown up as much, you know? And so, you know, thank you to, you know, those people who, you know, thought it would go one way and like, look at, you know, what it's become, but it's just because that was you, your genuine self in that moment, seeing someone hurting and like recognizing and acknowledging them and validating them. And I hope we all learn something from that.
And just all the sports world, all the sportscasters. And I'm here in California for the NBA All-Star game. shout out to at Bleacher Report. So I'm thankful for them recognizing me and being the auntie.
Right.
I like being America's auntie, tell you the truth. Let's wipe the tears off. Let's get serious here.
No. Aunties can do both. Aunties can do both. I firmly believe it.
I'm thankful for that and just motivating these young people and motivating even the mayor. We were in a meeting with the media and she was like, "Oh, Lynn, I just know you're going to come in here and give me some words of encouragement."
Oh, really?
So everybody wants me to give them a word of encouragement.
Wow.
Yes.
I think that's amazing. I hope that, you also have time to, for yourself, right? Like, not always being everyone else's, cheerleader, right? But to be yourself and take it all in. It's all wonderful.
It is. It is. And it's a lot. And you have to take it in. You have to get your rest.
Yes.
I have to stay focused. Yes. And I'm always telling people, stay focused. So now I have to stay focused. Yes. I have to hold my head up.
Yes.
And like I say, everybody has just been magnificent.
Amazing.
And I'm meeting a lot of new people. Young lady, Miss Tawana, met her through Miss Christie down in Jacksonville. And it seems like we all have a connection.
Yes.
And that's what I like is that we have a connection. You can mention things and they know this person, you know that person, and the genuine love.
Yes.
You called me before I even came out here. You called me.
I would have done this remote. I'm like, I just want to talk to her.
You just wanted to talk to me.
Yes.
And so when I spoke to the young lady and I said, well, I'll be in California, she said, well, you can go to the studio. So you had already called me.
Yeah,
and that young lady, she works quite well with you.
Yes,
doesn't she?
Wonderful.
Yes.
Shout out to Tina. Yes, she's wonderful.
Giving her some words of encouragement.
Yes, I bet you did.
Yes.
I want to thank you so much for your time. I want to thank you for being so open. It's just really powerful.
Will you tell me about you? No, right quick. Tell me about you and your career. Tell us about you.
Okay. I will tell you.
Please. Yes.
So I am a licensed marriage and family therapist and international psychologist, but I worked in entertainment for most of my career.
Yes.
So until about 10 years ago, I worked in entertainment. And, I'm hearing you talk about your story. It kind of reminded me, I had a great job, paid well, did all the things, but I didn't feel like it was my life's work.
Yes.
And so I was like, okay, I guess I'm going back to school, well into my 30s and going back to school. And I just started over and started seeing clients and researching, and I love it. And,
so you became Dr. Patrice?
Yes. Eventually, yeah. It's been about 4 years now.
And what's your doctorate in?
It's international psychology with a focus on trauma.
International psychology with a focus on trauma. Oh my God. International. So do you speak with people internationally?
Yes. Well, can I tell you why I thought it was important for me is because I work in community mental health.
Okay.
And I realized that a lot of Western psychology was not made for the people that I was seeing in community mental health.
Explain that. Talk to the people. Explain that.
I know, because you're more comfortable interviewing. So
it's my time. It's my time. I gave you too much TMI. Your turn.
But just that most of the people that I was seeing were Black, brown people, a lot of LGBTQ+, and most Western psychology has been built around, researched on white men. And so
Talk to me.
It just pathologized a lot of people's ways of dealing with grief and trauma.
Yes.
It negates a lot of the importance of a village and community, and it's much more about being independent. And it just didn't connect with the people that I work with.
Okay.
And so when I found out about this program, I was like, oh, okay, right. We're going to bring in people's traditional healing practices. What did you see in your family? Where is there trauma that we're not going to pathologize, but we're gonna wonder about it, and we're gonna see how it's affecting you right now. And I think that's just so much of the work is what are we identifying and how do we talk about it? So that how do you think about it so that you can heal, right? Without stigmatizing further, anymore, making therapy accessible.
Yes.
Making sure that there's people from your community who you can have as a therapist if that makes you feel more comfortable. So all of those things.
So you still work with your clients?
I do.
Okay.
I still see clients.
Yes.
I do the podcast. I research.
Okay.
Which I love. I study colorism. I research maternal mental health.
All right. Talk to me, Patrice. Where
And Miss Lynn, I'm not going to let you interview me anymore. I know you're more comfortable with it, but yes, that's it.
All right.
But also, if people want to know what you're working on, because it sounds like you have a lot of things coming down the line, where could they find you?
At Lynn and Friends 14 on Instagram, lynnandfriends.com, www.lynn, all spelled out, lynnandfriends.com. On Facebook, the Lynn and Friends, and Lynn Jones, and definitely Jacksonville Free Press.
Wonderful.
I want to give kudos out to Rita and Sylvia Perry. Her mother, like I say, she worked for Motown. Miss Sylvia, and our office is in Jacksonville at 1122 West Edgewood Avenue. 32208 is the zip code. And you come on board and get your subscriptions. Subscriptions are $58 for the year, and you'll get a newspaper in your mailbox every week, and you see some articles in there from me and from around the country
I'm
too.
going to subscribe.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, I want you to subscribe, but listen, I need a column from you.
Okay.
I need a column.
Excellent.
Word up. It's a done deal.
Happy to. I love that.
It's a done deal.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you
really
too.
appreciate it. It was a beautiful conversation, and I really appreciate your time.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. The one and only Dr. Patrice, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Thank you. Thank you too. All right.
For more on what I'm doing, you can follow me on TikTok or Instagram at Dr. Patrice Lagoy. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please like and subscribe, and also would love to hear feedback or ideas for future shows. Thank you for listening.